right. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Thursday. It's a day. It's a day in the week. It's almost Friday. But it's time for your weekly dose of FOC Roundup. For those of you guys joining us for the first time, welcome. This is a little show where we sit down and talk about all of the books that are coming up on FOC. FOC stands for Final Order Cutoff. And it's our last chance as a comic book store to adjust our numbers before the comics actually show up at our door. What's your plan? It's not necessarily for tomorrow, but for Sunday and for Monday. So, welcome again, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us early in the morning. I guess it's not that early. It's
almost
almost
afternoon.
Pre-noon?
Pre-noon.
Late morning? I don't know.
It is late
I
morning.
don't know times. This is our FOC show. I'm John. That's Dom. We're going to walk you through some of the notable items that are on FOC. Again, FOC Final Order Cutoff. It's our last opportunity to change our numbers on comics before they ship out to us. And so we try to give you guys a heads up for some things to watch out for, some things that you need to be aware of. And the way it works, if you see anything that you like on this list, if you comment on this video that you would like to subscribe to that title, we will add the series to your hold slot so that when you come in, you'll get all of the issues for that series until it's canceled or you don't want them anymore. If you just want to pull a copy because you're not sure if you want to commit to ordering the whole series, or if you are out of state watching this and you want us to ship books to you, you can comment pull with the title, the quantity that you would like to order, and the cover that you would like to order, because you're going to see lots of variants, lots of variations in here. But that's how it works. The DC product that we're going to talk about is on FOC this Sunday, October 18th. Requests are due by 11 a.m. Mountain Time on Sunday the 18th. If you're coming here into the store, Saturday night's the cutoff, because I'll come by the shop on Sunday, I'll grab the notepad and get all those orders in.
That's
Sunday.
Mountain Daylight.
Yeah.
Because there's Mountain Standard. It's in Phoenix. If we have people, we do have one guy in Phoenix.
Yes.
But he doesn't watch this.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Oh, Siri.
Shut up, Siri. We weren't talking to you. Okay, so you got sub versus pull. Sub means you're subscribing to the series. You're going to get all of the subsequent issues that are on that title. Pull, if you just want a copy, just want a cover, just want 25 copies, that's cool. We can make that happen for you. The rest of the books that we're going to talk about, so Dark Horse, Boom, Dynamite, Marvel, Image, IDW are all on FOC this Monday, October 19th. Most of the books that we're talking about are in stores November 11th. And you can let us know what you would like to order from those things by 11 a.m. on Monday. I got to change that. Oops. October 19th. I just found an error in the blog. That's cool. So Sunday for DC, Monday for everybody else. Those are the two dates to keep track of. But you have all weekend to go through this, and you'll see the list, the big list at the very end of this when we talk about things, so that you can take a look and send us your orders. From Dark Horse this week comes Hellboy and the BPRD, the Seven Wives Club. Dom's a member of that club. Number one, it's just a one-shot. The team behind the Eisner Award-winning one-shot Hellboy Krampusnacht spins a new ghostly yarn. Hellboy comes to the aid of a young girl whose ghost hunt goes wrong, and a visit to an abandoned medical school. That's a bad idea. Why would you ever... I hate the Ghost Hunter episodes where they go to, like, condemned hospitals. You're just asking for problems, man.
A lot of people die there.
Yes, it is. That is haunted as shit. Don't go there. Like... Anyway, abandoned medical school reveals sinister layers to a grisly long-ago murder. Duh. Stolen cadavers, vengeful spirits, and more abound in this one-shot. Hellboy creator Mike Mignola reunites with fan-favorite artist Adam Hughes for a spirit-fueled scream fest sure to excite old and new fans alike. 3 covers for this one. Cover A right there is the main cover by Adam Hughes. Cover B on Dom's side is the variant cover by that hack, Mike Mignola. Just kidding. I love you, Mike. You're not watching the show, but that's cool. Cover D is the black and white version also by Mr. Adam Hughes. So yeah, there's some cross hatching on her pants. So A, B, C, and D, $4.99. Hellboy and the BPRD, the Seven Wives Club. Next from Dark Horse this week, I can't tell you how much I love this book. If you guys haven't had a chance to check this out from Steve Parkhouse and Peter Hogan, I think we have the omnibus that collects everything up to date out here. This is going to be a show on the Sci-Fi Channel. Who's the guy? What's the name of the guy that plays Wash in Serenity? Alan Tudyk.
Oh, really?
Alan Tudyk is the resident alien. So the whole idea about resident alien lands on Earth. He disguises himself as a human. He lives in the Pacific Northwest, and he pretends to be a doctor because he's a smart alien. Meanwhile, government agencies are trying to find him. His alien brethren are trying to find him, and he's just trying to live a normal life as a doctor in the Pacific Northwest. But he has a penchant for murder mysteries, and so he decides that he's going to help the local police department track down, serial killers and murderers and all this stuff. But he's an alien. It's so much fun. And
what's with the native totem there?
I don't know. That's just I don't know. This is a brand new miniseries though, called Your Ride's Here. His name is Harry. He's learned a lot about himself and the possibility that other aliens have been stranded on Earth too. He needs to figure out what to do with Honey, the only resident in Patience, USA, who sees him in his true alien form, as well as deal with his feelings towards Asta, his best friend. Harry's been stranded in a small town pretending to be a human doctor for so long, loneliness is bound to creep in. $3.99 for Resident Alien. Your Ride's Here. I think it's a 4-issue miniseries. We're talking about Alien Uber, maybe. I don't know what's going on, but it's fun. If you have a chance, go check out the trailer that's up on YouTube for the series. It's going to be an absolute blast. But it was a comic book first, and here you can jump in on a brand new story arc. So pretty cool. From DC this week in stores on 11/11, we've got Dark Knight's Death Metal Infinite Hour XX Extreme #1. Their latest in the release of their one-shots that tie into metal. Pull up a chair, you bastitches. It's time for Uncle Lobo's Infinite Hour. It's your chance to let the main man lobotomize you with familiar yet freaky stories of the DC Universe exactly as he remembers them, with blood and guts and XX extreme gratuitous violence. Tell your comics guy to put you down for all the copies. Just a one-shot. Main cover right there is by Kyle Hotz. $5.99 for the Infinite Hour Extreme. Uncle Lobo telling you some.
What was that movie where the guys kept saying extreme over and over?
Was it because they were selling a energy drink, right?
Yes.
And it was Paul Rudd and it was Stifler from American Pie. And then they had to go do like time and help a bunch of kids. I don't remember what it was called, but yeah. And they had there was like a bull truck. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, next from DC this week comes Detective Comics 1029. A new foe! Key issue alert! We got a new character appearance in Detective 1029. A new foe called the Mirror has joined the Dark Knight's Rogues Gallery. But is there more to this villain than meets the eye? He's a transformer. Or is he simply... right? Or is he simply a reflection of the world around him? That's clever. That's very clever. As the Bat family finds themselves on the run from the Mirror's army, Damian Wayne lurks in the shadows, plotting his next move in a cat-and-mouse game between father and son that can only end in disaster. Main cover by Belix Evely, and the variant cover is by Mr. Lee Bermejo. How does... Every new villain has got a bunch of henchmen. How is that a thing?
Yeah, you got to run with,
Is there a special Craigslist for evil villain people
it's like
to recruit
the news
henchmen?
guys from Anchorman, you got your people.
That's right. Where'd you find a grenade? I stabbed a guy with a trident. Oh crap. Next from DC, you guys have heard us talk about this for months now. We finally are FOCing the Punchline Special #1. Just a one-shot, spinning out of the pages of the Joker War comes the first solo book starring the blockbuster new character Punchline. As she faces the consequences for her role in the Joker War, the story of how Alexis Kay became Punchline will take Leslie Tompkins, Harper Row, and Cullen Row on a harrowing journey that reveals a fringe teenager's radicalization to the ideology of a madman. That's a lot of big words.
It is. I didn't understand.
Radicalization, fringe teenager's radicalization to the ideology of a madman. Whew. I gotta, somebody have a dictionary so I can figure out what that means? It's a terrifying tale so big it demanded an oversized special issue. The main cover that you were seeing right there is by Yasmin Putri. Variant cover on Dom's side is by Mr. Frank Cho. Yeah. It's nice to see it all because we only got that kind of snapshot of her upper half. He nailed it, man. There is a blank cover, which is pretty cool, and it's got her daggers in there. And then over there on Dom's side, that is our team variant store exclusive by Kale Nagu. So we will have all 4 of those available. We were doing a package deal for the A, the B, and our store exclusive. We can talk more about that, but the store exclusive is going to be $20. Cover A is $5, cover B is $6, and cover blank is also $5. So just a one-shot Punchline special number 1 in stores November 11th.
Dave Schneider says unemployment is high in Gotham. It's probably why you get so many people.
That's why there's so many henchmen. You just go to Henchman's R Us, and it's like, I'll take one of those, and that crazy guy with the axe. Hench list, yes. You should start that. That'd be awesome. Oh. Next from DC this week, we've got Tales from the Dark Multiverse Flashpoint number 1, also just a one-shot.
That's good.
Yes. Spinning out of the events of a world where a single choice by the Flash affected the entire DC universe, find out what would have happened if Barry Allen had not put things right. In a world where the Flashpoint reality was never undone, where Thomas Wayne still haunts Gotham City as Batman, and the Amazonian and Atlantean armies still prepare for war, will the Reverse Flash embrace this darker, deadlier world and finally eclipse Barry Allen's legacy? Wow. That sounds awesome. We've got a great freaking cover by Leo Marquez. $5.99 for this one-shot. But again, it's kind of a series of one-shots. We talked about, what was the first one? Hush. Hush was on FOC a couple of weeks ago. Now we've got Flashpoint. I think there's going to be 3 or 4 more. So let us know if you would like to pull these.
All fantastic.
They are. They're great. They're all oversized. They're usually square bound. I think we have a hardcover that collects all of the first volumes out on the rack. So Tales from the Dark Multiverse Flashpoint number 1. Finally from DC this week, not my favorite Josh Middleton variant.
That, the one on the left? Or
The
the
one on the right is him. But, you know, we've had a lot of people who are fans of his, so I figured let's put this out there.
Shocking on, man.
Yes.
Get some dagger in her hands. Good to go.
That's right. A couple swords. Wonder Woman 766 is on FOC. Count Vertigo does not like to be treated like a joke, or maybe he does. He's kind of insane after all. When Lord Industries' psychic super tech amps up the Count's armies to deadly... See, he's got an army too. He's got henchmen also. Henchlist.org. The Count's armies to deadly new heights. Wonder Woman sustains injuries that she may never recover from. But never fear, the reformed Maxwell Lord has Diana's back. And as Diana will find out, he's not afraid to stick a knife in it. Main cover by David Marquez, variant cover on Dom's side by Josh Middleton. Don't get me wrong, it's still good. It's just not as good as some of the other. Like the one that was just her portrait that looked like the Golden Age, that was amazing. Wonder Woman 766. From IDW this week comes Marvel Action Chillers number 1, just a one-shot. The chilling grip of the ancient Darkhold threatens the Marvel heroes, and it's up to Doctor Strange and Ironheart to save the day. But there's more to this terrifying mystery as our heroes follow the twisted trail the Darkhold leaves behind, discovering lost stories full of scares and thrills. Jeremy Whitley pens the 4 spooky stories in this bi-weekly event, all drawn... I guess it's not a one-shot. Sorry. Oops. All drawn by a bone-chilling gathering of eerie artists. First, Doctor Strange and Ironheart learn of the spine-tingling time Iron Man and Cap faced a horrifying post-modern Prometheus. Those are also a lot of big words for a kid's book.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, Marvel Action Chillers #1, not a one-shot. It's going to be a little series, but it's kind of a Marvel horror kids anthology book. So some fun stuff. $3.99. Next from IDW this week comes Star Trek Voyager 7's Reckoning #1 of 4. After Voyager encounters a damaged ship deep in the Delta Quadrant, what at first seems to be a simple repair mission becomes a much deeper mission as 7 of 9 becomes involved in an ancient conflict that will put her newfound humanity to the test. From writer Dave Baker, who did Action Hospital, Fuck Off Squad, and Star Trek Waypoint, and artist Angel Hernandez. Cover A is by Angel Hernandez, so that's what it's going to look like inside, and cover B is the photo cover. Star Trek Voyager 7's Reckoning, 1 of 4. From Image this week comes Kick-Ass versus Hit Girl #1 of 5 with a brand new story arc. I think this is continuing. If you were subscribed to Kick-Ass, you will automatically get this because I believe it's a continuation of that series. Old allies become enemies when Mindy screeches into Albuquerque to kill the imposter who's been running gangs in New Mexico. And as Hit Girl sets out to avenge Dave and stop Kick-Ass's criminal operations for good, Patience fights to survive as the target of the best assassin in the biz and questions whether she could ever kill a child to save her own life. Whew, that's deep, man. Cover A by Mr. John Romita Jr. Cover B is the black and white version, also by Romita Jr. We've got cover C down here by Mateo Scalera. And cover D over there on Dom's side is by Andre Araujo.
Cool.
Yeah, it is. It's good. There's also going to be a blank, but we don't have an image for that. It'll have trade dress and all that sort of stuff. But
that's above you.
Yeah, that's
right above you.
right here.
That's
it's
right. It's
literally
blank.
right there. Kick-Ass versus Hit Girl 1 of 5, little 5-issue miniseries. All right, from Marvel this week, we've got Amazing Spider-Man 52, the continuation of the Last Remains story arc. Kindred shows Spider-Man his true power, and Spidey sees how much trouble he is in. Main cover over here is by Pat Gleason. There is also a headshot variant by Todd Knock, but we don't have the image for that. And over there on Dom's side, this is the second week of the Jeffrey Verege Native Voices variant covers with a very... I dig them, man. I love them.
Cool.
A very cool Spider-Man over there on Dom's side. And we're going to have another one just here for Iron Man on the right. Next from Marvel comes Iron Man #3. Tony Stark is getting tired of apologizing for being himself, especially when, as Iron Man, he's more powerful than most any other human being on Earth. As he wears himself out trying to do everything he can to be a force of good in the world, he's beginning to chafe at the idea that he really owes anybody anything. Is it too much to ask for a thank you? He's trying to keep his head down and his ego in check, but when Korvac reveals himself as the puppet master behind Stark's latest investment, Tony will at least have somewhere to channel his anger and frustration. That is, if he survives the conflict at all. Main cover by Alex Ross, and again, Native Voices variant cover by Jeffrey Verege. That is also super rad. I dig them. It's
really cool.
It's really neat. Something very different. Okay, this next one was supposed to come out way back in May to time with the Black Widow movie. It's obviously now October.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Taskmaster #1 of 5, little 5-issue miniseries. Taskmaster has murdered Maria Hill, or at least that's what the whole world thinks. Now the greatest spies in the business are hunting him down and won't stop until Taskmaster is dead or clears his own name. Follow Jed McKay, who is the writer on the Black Cat series, and Alessandro Vitti on a globe-spanning adventure that will send ripples through every corner of the Marvel Universe's espionage community. Main cover right there is by Valerios Gian Giordano. It is an awesome cover.
Freaking awesome cover.
Yeah.
Look at those biceps.
I know. So veiny.
That's right.
Why does he have a lightsaber, though? What's up with that?
Oh, he's a Jedi.
He is a Jedi?
He's a Jedi.
He looks like a Sith.
But
He's got a yellow saber. Maybe he's gray. I don't know.
He's a great Jedi.
Lastly, from Marvel this week comes the X-Men #4 Facsimile Edition, which introduces, just in time for the Disney Plus series, the first appearance of Scarlet Witch. Magneto returns to battle the X-Men, and he's brought the new Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, courtesy of the boundless imaginations of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch enter the Marvel Universe alongside enduring mutant menaces Toad and Mastermind. As Magneto and Professor X clash on the astral plane, the Brotherhood overruns and conquers the small nation of Santo Marco in the name of mutant supremacy, and the stage is set for a dramatic showdown with the X-Men. A rivalry for the ages begins here, and Wanda and Pietro start their incredible journey from villainy to their ultimate destiny in the mighty Avengers. It's one of the all-time great Marvel comic books, boldly represented in its original form, ads and all. $3.99 for the X-Men #4 facsimile. Santa Marco, huh? What an obscure town to take charge of in the name of mutants. It sounds like something from frickin' Three Amigos, the town of Santa Poco. The infamous Magneto? Infamous? Next from Boom this week. So last week we talked to you about Mighty Morphin #1. So the current Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series is coming to an end. It's like a Hydra. You cut off one head and 2 new heads grow. So there are going to be 2 ongoing series, Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers.
Do it again.
Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers.
That's 2 of them.
2 ongoing series. Today we're talking about Power Rangers #1. 2 new series, 2 new teams. The Unlimited Power era begins here, and only Lord Draken, their greatest enemy, can save them. Superstar writer Ryan Parrott, who did the Power Rangers Ninja Turtles crossover, and fan favorite artist Francesco Mortorino reveal a new cosmic threat that only the original Power Rangers, now known as the Omega Rangers, Jason, Trini, and Zack, can hope to defeat. But their secret weapon is the villainous Lord Draken. Zordon forbids the Omega Rangers from contacting Draken, so if they want to save the universe, they'll have to go rogue and go up against their Mighty Morphin allies. The next big Power Rangers epic begins here, perfect for longtime fans and new readers alike. Main cover right there is by Matteo Scalera. He's getting around a bit this week, isn't he?
Yes.
Variant cover that is on Dom's side is by Danielle DiNicolo, who's the current artist on 7 Secrets. Cover C down here is the connecting cover that actually connects with Mighty Morphin #1 by Jung Gen Yoon. And then over there on Dom's side is a blank. Not really.
Blank.
There is a blank cover for
Usually
it.
has some
Usually it's got trade dress on it at least.
price.
Price, creative teams,
It's IDW. IDW puts it on the back.
This is Boom.
Oh, it's Boom. Never mind.
Boom still does. Yeah,
does
their blanks have. I don't know. We'll see. But there's a blank cover. $4.99. Yes, for Power Rangers #1. Next up from Aftershock this week. Okay, if you guys haven't been paying attention, Aftershock broke big news last week that they have partnered with a media company to work at developing their products, their comic book stuff into TV shows and movies and all that sort of stuff. The first book post that announcement, We Live, came out this week and has been selling like crazy, which is great because Aftershock are fantastic people. We love to support them. This is their new book called Miskatonic #1. Miskatonic Valley holds many mysteries. Cultists worshipping old gods, a doctor dead set on resurrecting the recently deceased, a house overrun by rats in the walls, that's gross, but none more recent than a series of bombings targeting the valley's elite. That's terrifying. These horrors reach a breaking point when the brilliant, hard-nosed investigator Miranda Keller is sent to stop the bombings. To J. Edgar Hoover, there can be no other explanation than those responsible for similar actions during the Red Scare of the 1920s. But when Miranda digs too deep, she uncovers an unimaginable occult conspiracy, one that may cost her her job and her sanity. From writer Mark Sable and artist Giorgio Pontrelli, Miskatonic is a mix of historical crime fiction and Lovecraftian horror that dives deep into the American nightmare. That sounds awesome.
Because it hits home for you because
Yes.
you're like part of the Parker elite.
Yeah, I don't want to
might
get
get
bombed.
blown up.
Shut up. I'm the Parker nobodies. The main cover that you see on your screen right there is by Jeremy Hahn. So we've got a historical crime fiction mixed with some Lovecraftian horror. I dig it. I'm in. Miskatonic #1. Our friends up at I Want More Comics and Big Easy Comics have a store exclusive for this. They just announced, I think, yesterday or the day before. So if you're looking for something that's even more limited and rare, make sure you check that cover out from those guys. I think it's by a local artist, too, which is pretty cool. From Titan this week, we have Cutting Edge Sirens Song #1. Tomb Raider meets the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That also sounds fun. In a brand new series by renowned fantasy author and award-winning Italian artist. Brought together by a clandestine corporation, the world's greatest minds are set a challenge of epic proportions. The dodecathlon. A dodecahedron is how many sides? Is it 10 sides?
I think it's 10.
So dodecathlon is a 10. Screw that. I'm out. Unlikely. What's that?
I don't know. I'm not trying.
I don't either. A triathlon is 3 things. A decathlon would be 5 things, I think, right? I don't know. I don't know my fancy number of names. Unlikely alliances are made in order to fulfill the quest and uncover the mysterious truth behind it all. But the conspiracy is unveiled. How many will survive?
12.
Is it 12? A dodecathlon? So it's 12 events?
12 events.
If one of those events is sitting in a chair and eating cheese fries, I think I'd be good at that. Cover A on my side is by Butch Geis. Cover B on Dom's side is by Mario Alberti. He is the interior artist for the book, so that gives you an idea. It does look really good. And cover C down here is the black and white version of cover A, also by Butch Geis. So, Cutting Edge, the Sirens Song #1. From Vault this week, we've got 2 new series. One of them is kind of a continuation of, oh God, what was it called? Fearscape. We've got Dark Interlude #1. After the stunning success of Fearscape comes a dark interlude, the story of No. The only offense to literature greater than the loathsome synopsis is the sequel. I will not stand idle while some poor excuse for an editor mangles and confuses my story, which is intact, perfect, and concluded, with this derivative drivel. Mark my words, this nonsense has nothing to do with my tale. I am not in it, I do not condone it, and you, dear readers, should not buy it. I don't know what that means. I don't know what Fearscape was about. I know we had a couple of people that were subbing it. I should read it. The 3 different covers for Dark Interlude. Cover A on my side is by Ariella Kristantina.
That's an awesome cover.
Yes, it is. Cover B on Dom's side is by Daniel Gooden, and cover D down here on my side is by Rebecca Isaacs. I don't know who Cubehead guy is, but it looks cool. I didn't read Fearscape, so if it's a continuation of that, I don't know what it is or what it means. But next from Vault, I'm pretty jazzed about this one. We've got I Walk with Monsters #1. In JC's past is the important man who took away her brother. Now JC has David, who sometimes transforms into a terrifying beast. Together they found a way to live, to hunt, sniffing out men who prey on the vulnerable. But JC and David are about to run into the important man again. From Paul Cornell, who's written Wolverine, Doctor Who, and lots of other stuff, and Sally Cantarino from Last Song and We Have to Go Back, comes a haunting story about the monsters that walk beside us all and sometimes lurk within. Main cover is by Sally Cantarino. Cover B on Dom's side is by Daniel Gooden. And cover C down here on the bottom is by Jen Hickman. So that sounds super cool. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of a wrap for the featured stuff. We got a couple of other segments to go through. The first of which is our subsequent print speculation section, brought to you by Oscar Cassis.
Hey, bro. The second prints?
We do.
I don't know if he's still here or not.
I think he left.
Did he? He would have been perfect.
We would have had a live.
John!
Yeah. Psst, hey.
You got any more of those second prints?
Psst, yo. First up from DC, Dark Knight's Death Metal #3 is getting a third print with a brand new cover by Mr. Greg Capullo. This is obviously not what it's gonna. These are the pencils for the cover. It's not finished. It's not inked. It's not colored. But you got Wonder Woman flying with what looks like a Swamp Thing shield. Harley is riding a giant hyena, and Batman is on the Man-Bat cycle. That is freaking cool. Awesome, man. Third print, Dark Knight's Death Metal #3. From Image this week, man. Spawn is getting 3 different subsequent prints. First off, we've got #308 with a second print. Then we've got #309 with a third print featuring the McFarlane Gunslinger cover. And then we've got #310 that just came out, was it last week? With Ninja Spawn right there on the cover. So second print for 309, third print, no wait, hold on, I did that wrong. Second print for 308, third print for 309, second print for 310, all on FOC on Monday. From Marvel, I don't have images for all but one of these. We've got Marauders #13 is getting a second print. Marvel's Voices is something that came out pre-COVID shutdown. It is getting a new printing with that's a freaking awesome cover with Miles on it, along with Shuri and Moon Girl and She-Hulk and lots of others. So there's a new printing for Marvel Voices, not to be confused with Marvel's Indigenous Voices that hasn't hit FOC yet, so that's still coming out. Strange Academy 3 is getting a second print. Wolverine #6, which is the first appearance of, I can't think of his name. Whatever. Wolverine 6 is getting a second print, and X-Force 13 is also getting a second print. Those came out last week. First cover appearance of that new guy in those 2 books. Okay? Finally, we have our Who Does #2 Work For? So,
who does #2 work for? Who does #2 work for?
That's right, buddy. You show that turd who's boss.
the answer is you, Super Friends. #2 works for you. This is a little segment where we spotlight issue #2s because, well, frankly, they're always under-ordered. People grab #1s off the rack. Maybe they're just wanting to try it out, but it finds their way to the bottom of the stack, and you don't get a chance to read it right off the bat. Maybe you're buying it for speculation purposes. I really don't care, but I want to bring attention to issue #2 so that you are aware that if you bought #1 and never read it and never told us to order #2 for you, we might not have copies of #2 because we look at sales, and if sales for #1 are great, but nobody adds it to their subscription, chop #2s. It's just how it works. Sometimes #1s are returnable, #2 is not, and so I've got to look at that, and I've got to make a decision. And so we always order less copies of #2. So if you see something on here that sounds good to you, let us know. Either A, put it on your sub so that you don't miss out on it, or B, let us know to pull a copy for you so you can at least read #1, follow up with #2, and then figure out what you would like to do with the series. So first up from Action Lab, we've got Sasquatch in Love #2 of 4. Holden is stunned to discover the existence of the first female Sasquatch that he's ever seen, and possibly the last. He also discovers that he can't stand her.
That kind of doesn't work.
This is like a modern Harry and the Hendersons. I mean, come on. Meanwhile, Felix and Grace continue to aggravate one another, and Sheriff Judy learns that the legendary Bigfoot lives outside of town. Sasquatch in Love #2. The person that you were meant to be with just just nails on a chalkboard. I love you, Carissa. From AWA, we've already done this one once before. Issue #1 came out last week. FOC was for #2 was technically before #1 came out, so at least they moved this is the second book that we're going to talk about like this. So this is American Ronin #2 of 5. Peter Milligan and ACO doing the writing and the interior artwork. War is over, democracy is an illusion. Real power now lies not within nation states, but huge corporations engaged in a silent war for global domination. Their number one weapon, highly skilled, technologically enhanced operatives trained since childhood to pledge their allegiance to the corporate flag. But what happens when one such operative breaks free of his mental chains and decides to bring the whole system down? Can one Ronin make a difference? Main cover by ACO. Variant cover on Dom's side is by Raza. Yeah. Because it's totally different than all of the other stuff that we've ever seen him do, which is almost 3D modeling. Right. This has got a very cool graphic design element to it. We still have copies of number 1, so if that sounds interesting to you, let us know. Let us know if you'd like to order a copy of number 2. From Dark Horse this week, issue number 1 just came out yesterday. True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys, National Anthem number 2. This is Gerard Way's creator-owned series. This story was the inspiration for one of his My Chemical Romance soundtracks. So if you like that, you'll probably like this. If you like Umbrella Academy, you'll definitely like this.
Or if you're just depressed, you'll like Gerard.
Or, yeah, true. A violent, inhuman police force is hot on Killjoy's leader Mike Milligram's trail as he speeds down the highway on his way to recruit his brainwashed team. One member has become an unassuming middle school teacher and begins to... That sounds like Zach Rubico. Zach, they're talking directly to you. Holy crap. And begins to find strange evidence of how far their enemy's reach is and their control on reality. Cover A is by Leonardo Romero. Cover B is by Becky Cloonan, who is... That's that one over there, right there on your side.
Smaller than mine.
I think what they did...
No,
yeah, right? I think what they're doing is the big white bar at the top is where they're going to have the logo. Okay. But they just didn't. They don't have it with trade dress, so that should be. It's going to be a normal sized book. Because this next one, cover C, is also a weird shape. It's more of a square, but this is cover C by somebody by the name of Motohiro, not Motor Hero, Motohiro. But that's pretty cool too.
Moto.
Hello, Moto. ABC. For True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys, number 2. From DC this week, American Vampire 1976, number 2 of 9 hits FOC. Skinner, Pearl, and a surprising new ally team up to pull off their game-changing heist of the Freedom Train. Choo-choo! But time is running out for a nation in crisis. The Beast's plan for mass terror and world domination is finally revealed in sick detail. Sick! And as humanity spirals towards extinction, there's a devastating twist. What a twist. When an unexpected force returns to pick off the VMS's top officials, Travis and Cal discover that the ultimate evil has competition, and the final battle will be more merciless than anyone imagined. Merciless. Main cover is by Raphael Albuquerque. There is a variant cover. They didn't even have a name on the variant cover. I don't know what it looks like. I got no info for it, but that would normally be on Dom's side.
Was it? We'll go for that one.
Well, but this is DC. This is from Lunar, so we can't. We'd have to pull up the Lunar website.
I'll find something.
Okay. We can look up that Amazing Spider-Man 51, the Todd Knock headshot variant, maybe. Next from DC, this one just came out yesterday, kids. Rorschach, number 2 of 12. What's the connection between an aging comic book artist and Rorschach? That's the question the detective investigating the attempted assassination of a presidential candidate must answer. Will Meyerson, a reclusive artist known for his pirate comics, hint hint, wink wink, went from drawing the adventures of Pontius Pirate and the Citizen to working with a mysterious young woman hell-bent on making sense of a post-Watchmen world. Somewhere in the life of Will Meyerson lies the key to learning more about Rorschach. Eisner Award-winning writer Tom King teams with rising star artist Jorge Fornes to delve into the backroom maneuvering and political corruption in a story that asks how far a man with ideals will go to make them a reality. If you like super spy, political intrigue, drama, this is awesome. The Rorschach number 1.
By somebody pretty big.
That's exactly right, and I don't have a cover for it.
I know, right?
Main cover right there is by Jorge Fornes. Variant cover by Peach Momoko, but we don't have it. Have you seen it? No. Even our biggest
Funny,
Peach
'cause when
fan.
Peach just went to Marvel, so she
Yeah.
knocked out a bunch of stuff.
She did. I mean, if you walk out there and look at the rack this week, there's like 8 Peach Momoko covers that came in just this week, all for different things. It's crazy.
Getting paid,
She is getting paid. She's a workhorse. Speaking of Peach Momoko, here we go. I was talking with James Vance about this because he came in yesterday to pick up his hold slot. He had copies of Dynamite #1. This was on FOC last week, but the book came out yesterday. So Dynamite is re-FOCing, which is very helpful to us because we can look at sales and figure out where we need to go with issue #2. And here we are. This is Dynamite #2. The Marvel zombies, the deceased is now all the zombified heroes has come to the Dynamite universe, affecting Red Sonja and Vampirella and all of Dynamite's other characters, which is pretty cool. Vampirella hurtles through space, unaware of the dangers that lurk within the universe, and evil grows on Mars, and Red Sonja discovers an awful secret. Chilled monkey brains, apparently. Cover A is by Lucio Perillo. I don't like the boils that are on Vampirella's shoulder. Normally it's like, ooh, Vampirella, Yamahama. That one is not. Cover B on Dom's side is the Chilled Monkey Brains variant by Arthur Suydam. I love the expression that he gets out of the eyeballs and the skull. Dom doesn't like it. He doesn't like that one at all. Cover C is by Peach Momoko, and it is, that's the other. That's
nobody.
Some nobody. Featuring Deja Thoris. And cover D is by Declan Shalvey, who is the writer for this series, with a very, very large axed Red Sonja. That axe is huge, man.
It is, man.
Would do some damage. All right. From Image this week, Getting It Together, #2 of 4. This is the modern take on Friends. Is it really possible to be friends with your ex? Sam and Lauren try to work things out while Jack dives deeper into dating apps, which brings more surprises from his past than he expected. Meanwhile, Lauren's band Nip Slip gets an offer they simply can't refuse. This issue contains 29 pages of joyous melodrama and a bonus Jack side quest. It was
Sound good.
it was a fun read. Like if you like people drama, Getting It Together. We still have copies of #1. #2 is on FOC on Monday. Jack's side quest. Jack is gay and he runs into somebody. He goes on a date with this guy, and then he talks to a friend who said that guy had some weird stuff going on, and so stole a bunch of things. It's just relationship drama. That's
Okay.
If you don't have enough in your own personal life, read about these fictitious characters and their personal drama. For Marvel this week, Champions #2 is on FOC. When clashing protests over the teen vigilante ban break out across Chicago, the Champions risk their freedom to protect the young protesters from overzealous Cradle agents. But Chicago's own hometown hero, Ironheart, is nowhere to be seen. Where is Riri Williams? Why has she abandoned the Champions, and could it have anything to do with the mole in their ranks? Main cover right there is by Tony Infante, Champions #2. Next from Marvel, we have Marvel #2 of 6. I can't believe how long it's been since this book has come out. 6 months, almost. Another artist extravaganza overseen by the master Alex Ross. In this issue, the X-Men old and new grapple with the swelling of their ranks in a story by Dan Brereton. The Thing, Spider-Man, and Doctor Doom contend for the most coveted object on the planet in a tale by Eric Powell. And the Vision pushes himself to the limit in order to save a life in an adventure by Paulo Rivera. All wrapped up in framing sequence painted by Alex and scripted by Steve Darnall. Marvel #2 of 6 with the classic Black Widow on the cover right there, which is pretty cool. Finally, from Marvel this week, Warhammer 40,000 Marnius Calgar #2 of 5. This one #1 just came out yesterday. Descent into Chaos. The untold origin of Marnius Calgar continues as a startling discovery is made on the moon of Nova Thulium. But will the young Marnius face his first triumph or a soul-shattering loss? a shocking revelation in the history of the legendary chapter master of the Ultramarines that will forever change what you thought you knew. Main cover right there on the screen is by James Stokoe. Okay? From Oni, we have another number 2. Number 1 just came out this week. This is Vane number 2. It's 1942, and Felix Franklin finds himself on the front lines of the U.S. military during World War II. Meanwhile, the Vane are waging their own war after they make a deal with the FBI to form a Spec Ops team with one mission, annihilating their opponents. They're out for blood. For Nazi blood. That sounds awesome! Vampire Special Ops team going after Nazis in World War II? Pfft. Rad. Vane number 2 is on FOC on Monday from the folks at Oni. If that sounds interesting to you, we still have copies of number 1 on the rack. And that is kind of the wrap for the show, kids. The last thing that we leave you with is the entire list of books broken down by publisher for everything that is on FOC for Sunday, if it's DC, and Monday for everybody else. The way it works after you get through the DC stuff doesn't have item codes, so you have to Google that stuff. For everything else that's still serviced through Diamond, you see this column over here that are all the item codes. If there's something that you're interested in, all you have to do is copy that item code. Are we going to try the Spider-Man one?
Yep.
All you got to do is copy that item code and paste that into a web browser of your choice. The very first search result that's going to come up is the previewsworld.com listing for that item. You click that link. Oh, damn, we got one. That's awesome. There you go. That is the Amazing Spider-Man number 52, I'm sorry, Todd Knock headshot variant that wasn't available last night when I typed this up. So
Now it is.
now it's there. That is a headshot. You could probably cut the eyes out of that and make a paper mask for yourself.
Probably.
So if you need copies to do that, let me know. But take the time, go through the list, put a wish list together of things that you would like to order. Let us know Sunday by 11 a.m. for DC stuff, Monday by 11 a.m. for everybody else, so that we can get you the comics that you would like to order. And that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. That's how the FOC thing works. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate it. We will be on tonight we're going to do 4 to 7 tonight. I don't have to go pick up my kid because he is on fall break, so we're going to do a 3-hour show tonight. Back to the old tour.
We're going to get lost.
We're going to get lost. I'm going to put my captain's hat. Randy's going to dress up like Marianne.
Gilligan.
It's going to be great. Like Gilligan?
I'd rather be Gilligan than Marianne.
I want to
Yeah,
see
he
you
looks
as
better as
Marianne.
Gilligan.
Anyway, 4 to 7 tonight, Mountain Time. We will be on doing a stream sale, so make sure you hang out with us. We'll have some new books. We'll have lots of old stuff. It'll be a fun 3-hour tour. So thanks, guys. I'm John.
I'm done.
Get your orders in. See you guys.
Good night.